Alright, let's talk about ASRT stock here. Recently got a request on this company to take a closer look at this American pharmaceutical company. I will do like I always do in these cases and take a look at the financial standing, because that's where I feel like I can provide most value for you as a viewer in the shortest amount of time possible. I've looked at a few of these now, and I've only ever really hated on one suggestion, and that was Endo. And lo and behold, they went bankrupt a few months later. I got a lot of dislikes on that video, but it had to be said regarding the financial state of that company. This company, however, does not have such a bad situation as Endo. The balance sheet is looking fine. We will take a quick look at that later in this video. But for now, let's take a look at the stock price here zoomed out. There's been a lot going on in this company, with stock price, I'm assuming here, rising on news of some drug pipeline development, and then falling when those promises did not came to fruition. When I looked at revenue for the company, I see that they do not have operational profitability yet. Makes sense given the small market cap that they have. It's not even 100 million, so this is an absolute micro cap company. Absolutely tiny company, 95 million shares outstanding, very small one. And if you are active in the medical field and have a good understanding here on products in neurology, pain, and diseases in the central nervous system, well, then this would be a potential big moneymaker for you if you really were able to understand if there's a product fit in this case, how big the market is. I don't know any of these things. That's why we're going to focus on taking a look at just the financial statistics in this case. And let's open the balance sheet. Let's take a closer look here at what's been going on in the latest time period. Let's start with dilution. Indeed, we're seeing some dilution. And this number here to the very right looks to be some sort of fractional share, because this number does not look right. And when I took a look here for 2023, I can see on the Yahoo Finance data that it's 94.6 million if this is not fractional. And when I looked at other sources, I see that they quote numbers of outstanding shares as 95 million. So it looks to be in this general area. But this company is so small that we're having issues with data quality and just making facts of numbers of outstanding shares in this case. I've seen some different information on different sources. Let's take a quick look at the balance sheet as well here. So we're seeing that they're issuing more shares to finance. That's a good sign in this case when they're doing development. We can see that as a result, total debt is very manageable. We saw here that it was a bit larger, so this is in thousands of dollars. So we can see here that the old debt used to be 66 million, and now it's about 40 million. Although if we take a look at cash on hand, you will find that under current assets. I just clicked it down here to get the assets that it's divided into, and we see cash and cash equivalents of 73 million, and that's more than enough to cover the total amount of outstanding debt. However, this company is on the clock. They have the expenses when they're doing the development, and they are in need to bring in revenue and make a source of income that can be sustainable. And this is where a commenter commented something interesting, that they have announced the appointment here of a new CEO. So a new person to manage this company that has some experience in this area. This works out very well in a lot of cases. And in other cases, we get a little bit disappointed, like when Pat Gelsinger took over Intel as the new CEO. He used to work for VMware as the CEO. He made a fantastic job, and that has not really translated into creating shareholder value for Intel so far. So a bit disappointing in that case to see an industry veteran not delivering value quick enough, in my opinion. And here we're seeing that the appointment of an industry veteran, indeed, that's a positive sign. That's potentially very bullish. I'm not very familiar with any of the successes or companies that this new CEO here has worked at in the past, Mr. Brandon. But if you are familiar with this, please let me know down below and how that story went. This is something where in such a small company, such a small cap company, such a micro cap company, that knowledge is something that Wall Street won't analyze. They won't really price that into a stock this small. This is the type of tiny microcap company where it can be really interesting, and where information like this and just having an edge in the knowledge really can be a big moneymaker. But I have to disappoint on this one. I'm not familiar with the CEO. I'm not familiar with the other companies that he has worked at prior. I searched quickly here on LinkedIn in the Sales Navigator to take a look at the leadership of ASRT. I did not see the person in question listing it yet, so I guess they haven't updated yet or something, or maybe it's not a part of LinkedIn. But I took a look at some of the other executives here on the C level. And we can see, for example, this is a little bit worrying. We're seeing both Paul and AJ here being new in the role relatively. So we see the CFO here, 8 months in the role. And then CCO, the Chief Commercial Officer here, 5 months in role. And then if we scroll up, we don't really see other C levels. The CEO here, the old one, Daniel Pacert, can't really pronounce that surname. But I think we're gonna see a new leadership position there as well. So that is a significant change in the guard, a significant change in leadership for this company in a short amount of time. Quite interesting indeed. There's a lot of potential with change in leadership like that. It could also be a sign that things have not progressed as they wanted. It's been on a downward spiral, and indeed that seems to be priced into the share price. It's very, very low. The balance sheet looks stable, so there is potential for a turnaround case here. Even though we've seen some dilution of shares, share price is very low, market cap is very low, and if they manage to deliver success, then this could easily be a 10-bagger in a quick amount of time. However, once again, I'm not going to go into this company. I'm not going to invest into it. I don't have the industry specific knowledge in this case. It's a lot easier for me to look at tech companies since I worked at Dell and at Google and be able to make a more educated decision on that. But when it comes to pharmaceuticals here, that's an industry where I just stay away from it, from the simple reason of me not understanding it. But financials looked fine, balance sheet looked fine. As always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.